The FBI releasing new stats today, and the number of police officers intentionally killed in the line of duty last year, and those numbers are staggering. The number of officers killed reached a nearly 30-year high, with the exception, of course, of the 9/11 terrorist attacks. And one of the most horrifying details here, of the 73 officers who were killed, one-third, 24 officers, died in what the FBI calls unprovoked attacks, meaning that they came out of nowhere without any warning. And that's very different than ambush-style killings, which are premeditated, although we're seeing many of those too. In 2020, the number of unprovoked killings of police officers was in the single digits. 2 of the 46 officers killed in the line of duty died in that kind of sudden attack. That's in line with the kind of numbers that we saw the year prior. But then in 2021, that number dramatically increased to 24 officers, 12 times as many as the year before. Late last year, Baltimore police officer Kiana Holly was shot in the head while sitting alone in her patrol car. She was just 39 years old and a mother of 4. Her family later forced to make the excruciating decision to take Holly off of life support. 2 men have been charged in her murder, but no motive has ever been revealed. And then a week later, in Illinois, Sergeant Marlene Riddimanek died after being shot while investigating a call about a dog barking in a hotel parking lot. Prosecutors say she begged for her life. Her partner, Officer Tyler Bailey, was shot in the head, but miraculously he survived and continues to recover. Police arrested and charged 2 people in that case, and prosecutors are pursuing federal charges in the hopes of getting the death penalty for both co-defendants. Already this year, 20 officers have been intentionally killed in the line of duty, and 3 of those deaths, 15%, are classified as unprovoked attacks by the FBI. It is more dangerous than ever to be a police officer. Everyone should be talking about these numbers, what they mean, and what we need to do about this. And all of this comes, of course, as cities and towns across the country deal with a soaring number of homicides and violent crime, and as police departments of all sizes grapple with staffing shortages and officers are stretched to the limit on overtime and doing double duty. Joining me now is retired Tulsa Police Lieutenant Sean Sticks Larkin. Sticks, great to have you on the program. I mean, are you as stunned as I am by these numbers? Because they're devastating.
Yeah, you hit it right on the head, Jesse. They are devastating. But on the same note, I'm not stunned, unfortunately. And that's because for the past, 2+ years now, there's been this false narrative that's being put out by some in the media, by activists, by some politicians. The police are the bad guys, basically, that it's okay to resist lawful orders from the police and so forth. And it's almost become acceptable for a lot of people in society right now to take violence out on police officers.
But why the increase now? Is it this idea of that they're emboldened to go after police officers?
Yeah, I think exactly that. I think, there's some of those in the public, in society, that maybe, dislike the police to begin with. And through the last few years with some of the protests, which obviously legal, type of protests people are entitled to. But when there's lack of prosecution for those that are committing crimes during these things, those that are assaulting police officers and they're not punished for it, they're emboldened, they think it's okay, and it just keeps building and building.
Sticks, there's something to be said. You go into a dangerous situation, you might feel that your life is going to be in danger, but people who are responding to routine traffic stops or checking, a dog that's on the loose or something like that, they don't expect this to happen. So what kind of psychological toll does this take on a police officer who now has to go out in any situation and worry they might be a victim of an unprovoked attack?
Yeah, the unprovoked attack, these are police officers that are strictly targeted because of the uniform they're wearing. That's it. No other reason. And, when you go through the police academy, you're always taught, be aware of what's going on around you. When you're on a traffic stop, what are the things you're looking for? When you respond to a burglary, what are the type of things you're looking for? But when you're sitting in your car writing a report, if you're sitting down somewhere getting a bite to eat and you're being attacked, these are things that previously we don't have to sit and worry about. You're aware, but you not worry about it. And now that these are increasing across the country, these horrible stories we're hearing, more and more officers themselves, every time they're putting on their uniform, they have to think about these.
So, Sticks, before we hit our break in a second, I just want to ask you, what can be done about this other than bringing attention to it?
I think those that are out here obviously breaking the law need to be held accountable. It's so simple sounding. Yes, I know our prisons are full, but I think violent offenders that are caught repeatedly, especially with firearms or violent crimes, the guys need to be locked up and kept in there.
Exactly right. Sticks. Thank you. Stick with us, though. We have more to talk about later on in the show.
Thank you for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.